Hello friends, welcome back to vStudent blog, and in this Nutanix series of training sessions we'll be looking at deploying and configuring a Nutanix Foundation VM, that is version 5.1.1. So before we go to our lab, let me make it clear that for this in production, till now we are using the Nutanix community edition to show the how it works. But if in real-time production environment, you have if you have ESXI boxes, or you have a hardware boxes like servers for which we need to configure Nutanix, install a hypervisor, and on that if you're deploying the Cvms, controller virtual machines. So for that, uh, in real-time production, we will be using the Nutanix Foundation. Using that, we can install the hypervisor to the physical boxes, and on that we'll be deploying the CVMs, discovering the CVMs. Everything will be done using the foundation. This is the actual real-time of production scenarios where foundation is the one which we'll use. So community edition, we are using just an ISO, and it is taking care of deploying the hypervisor, and above that it's deploying the CVM and creating clusters. But in real-time productions, foundation is the one we'll be using. So a foundation is a virtual appliance. So let me show you, for to download it you need to log into the Nutanix site, and if you go to the downloads, you'll be able to see the products. So I will just give an overview, then I will show how to download that. So this is a Nutanix site where I went to downloads, where you can see hypervisor for Nutanix, that is AHV, and uh, Acropolis OS, that is for CVM, and uh, Prism Central for the dashboard. So this is also a appliance, so we need to download when latest versions will be available here. And also we can like if you have already installed a hypervisor or a AOS or a Prism Central, so for that, if any upgrades are available, whenever you log into the Prism, LCM, Lifecycle Manager, will take care of downloading the latest available version, and using that we can install right away. If something due to security reasons you don't want to download it automatically, you can get the binaries from this site. So if you see hypervisors, hyper converged infrastructure, these are the three, and business continuity and disaster recovery, mine is the tool. And for cloud we'll be using move. For storage and data services, files and objects, applications and DevOps, com. Era is for database clones and restores, and this is for carbon platform services. Okay, so these are all essential tools like cluster maintenance, collector, file analysis. These are all the downloadables available, and this is the part where we are looking at foundation central, and foundation platforms. So foundation, when you are deploying a virtual machine, at that time we'll be going here and we'll be downloading the required available version. Like if you see here for AHV, we have this standalone foundation, and for VirtualBox, ESXI, and even if you are having a workstation, VMware workstation, we will be downloading this. So I downloaded this one, that is 5.1.1. So if you have Windows box, you can download this one, and Mac OS. Like for everything we have the required bundles available to download. So I already downloaded it. So apart from that, LCM, MSP, and NCC, we saw it in our previous video, like how to upgrade NCC. So witness VM, everything is available here, security related. So and at the time of deploying the hypervisor on the physical boxes, if you are not using Nutanix hypervisor, you may need other hypervisors like if you see here ESXI for a relevant vendor like Dell. For Dell you have the 6.5 version. So Nutanix, if you have, this is the version. So if you click here, you'll be able to select the required hypervisor version and the vendor based version. If you go to Nutanix, so only Nutanix related will be listed here, and for based on the required version, for example you are looking for 7.0, so you need to download this, and when you are configuring, when you get the option to download upload hypervisor ISO, you need to like download it on your console laptop or jump box, and from there you need to upload it to the foundation. So we will do all in in a couple of minutes. So now this is for downloading, and I already downloaded it. So let's go to our so as I said, I'm just going to show how to install foundation VM, and I will show some basic steps, but I don't have physical servers, so I will be going to some other good people who try to share their knowledge, where they worked on configuring the stuff, and they shared the very nice articles. So I will be taking help of them. I will just take you guys to their site, and I will show the how they configured it, and at least you guys will get an overview. So I'm just taking help of them, and I'm thankful to them. So uh, before that, so I downloaded the foundation VM, and this is the one which I just downloaded it. So if you see here, we have two file. One is for a disk VMDK file, and this is the open virtualization appliance file, or OVF. So here, when you already have workstation or virtual box, Oracle virtual box, so when you click on it, it's down directly. It will open that relevant application, and you will get the option to import it. I'm going to import it now. So yeah, pretty simple steps. So import is in progress. Once it is done, we'll be able to see a VM here. So I will pause the video. Once it is done, we'll get back. So VM is deployed now. I'm just powering on. So if you see the settings, so meanwhile it is getting powered on, I will show you, like it's having 2 GB of memory, 4 processors, and 8 GB of hard disk, and network is bridge network. So if you see here, when I turn it on, like VM is like a Linux based VM, and I just want to see the IP assigned, so it's 192.168.1.105. So let's make sure that we are able to ping that IP before we uh, try to access it. So IP is pingable. That's a good news. So here, like this is a URL to access the Nutanix Foundation. So when VM is up uh, when VM is up and VM is up, so sorry. So this is the URL, like IP followed by port 8000. So slash GUI slash index. So when you browse it, it will ask for if any we are using any older version. So we need it to update the foundation before we start it. But for us, we are using a latest one, so that's fine to leave it. So here, like if you see here, like we have 6 steps here. One is to start, where we have to provide all the information here. Then auto discovery of nodes, like talking about physical boxes, if it is a Nutanix super micro hardware IPMI, like intelligent management, intelligent platform management interface, that is based on, like, if it is a super micro hardware, it will be IPMI. It is if it is a Dell, then it's a DRAC, and if it is an HP, it's ILO, and if it is a Cisco, CIMC, IBM, IBMC. So it's like these are all that based on the based on the hardware. The a particular naming is for accessing the management console. So for any hardware, like any physical hardware, before you install, for example, the server is in New York or server is in any other different location, different country, and you need to install any hypervisor or any operating system. So if the data center guy assigns an IP and host name to the IPMI or ILO or IRAC, and he connects to the network, you can access that server from remotely using the IPMI or IDRAC. So you will be able to access the base, so that where you can connect, you can configure, right, you can install OS, and then you can bring it to the network and make it online. So you can do using the IPMI. So that is what IPMI is for. So even for Nutanix, if you configure the IP for IPMOS on each physical box, what happens is when you configure it and you provide the username and password, what happens is when we install using a foundation, when we install hypervisor and CVM, it will auto detects the IP of the particular server, IP and host name, and it will start deploying the hypervisor. So that's what using the IPM I will be doing it. So here if you see that select your hardware platform, here like compatible Nutanix compatible hardware will be listed here. If you are using super micro hardware for Nutanix, so auto detect is like if environment, if when you click on next in the bottom, what happens is it will detect what type of hardware available in the environment, and it will list it out. So if you want to select like that Nutanix hardware is there, or IBM or Dell hardware is there, if you select this one specific, so obviously it will look for the particular hardware and it will list it out. So any other which is not listed here, you need to go for others. So once this is done, we'll select the defaults as for so before that, if you see the step one, if you can manually write a uh, configuration file, and you can configure it so that you can bypass everything whatever is here. So when you configure that file, you can get that configuration file from Nutanix site. So you update the file and you select and import the file. What happens is it will pull the all information from that file, and single no need to next finish concept directly. It will run the uh, uh, it will it will take care of answering the all something like auto answering, and it will run the wizard for you without any selections or options. So this is first one, and this is the second option is for selecting the hardware, and so connect this installer to the nodes IPAM port. So this is what we are discussing about till now, and fourth option we can leave it for no, as we are not using any RDMA pass through for CVMs. So regarding 5 lakhs, you will your production switches will have, if you have that, you need to select, or else you can set it none. So if you are using particular VLAN for this for this host and CVMs, we need to provide the VLAN IDs, or else you need to enter 0 to remove any existing VLAN. So this is optional. So going to the Nutanix require like step 7, we have to provide the subnet for our CVMs, hosts and gateway. So that is already pretty simple, which has mentioned /24, and the gateway is ours 192.168.0.1. So though we are not going to deploy any we don't have a hardware first of all in place, so just for our demo purpose I'm showing it, but if you have real production this will be the same. So IPMI subnet and gateway, which we don't have hardware, so obviously we don't have a IPMI, but I will show you some pictures and scenarios where you can see like what is the IPMI, where is that port exist. So I googled and found some articles and some pictures where I can show with you guys. So just for demo purpose I'm entering it, but without that it won't allow me to take it to next step. That is the reason, but we don't use it here. So here for CVM one interface is required. So if you see here IPM subnet you enter should have is, so if there is a we don't do it here, but you can skip this validation if you don't want. So and for our foundation internet card, which is assigned IP and subnet keys, this is this is the one 192.168.105 and /24 is the net mask. So if you want to assign any other, you just need to add it here, but for now that's fine. So then when you click on next, it will take you to the next step, but before that, as I said, I will take you to the this is a Nutanix site where I just want to show you this is like I IPMI. So if you see here the location, port location for NX3050 is a model, NX is for Nutanix, that is a super micro. So IPMI is RJ45 interface. If you see this, you have couple of ports here. So this is for FSBs of 2 into 10 GB of ports on, and for NIC card, where we will be inserting an FSBC here, and we will be connecting a fiber cable to connect it to the switch. So and these are USBs, and this is for to connect the monitor when you have initially when you configure IPMI. So apart from that, this is around the 2 USB, and here you have 2 into 1 GB of copper connection for network, and this is the port we are talking about. So this will be this is also a copper cable which is connected RJ45, which is connected to the network switch. And yeah, like two ways you can configure the IPMI. One is using GUI, using the VGA. One is connecting if you have DHCP and designed. So now obviously you will be connecting the DHCP IP and configure the IP or host name, everything over the IPMI port here. Connecting this will be also connecting to the switch. So if you go to the next picture, this is for HP HX3500 and HX5500. Sorry, this is for Lenovo. So Lenovo HX series. So if you click here, this is like it's clearly mentioned what all ports were. Like if you see here, IMM, this is for this is called IMM in Lenovo, that is RJ45. So this will be connected to the network, and if you see here, it is having 4 into 1 giga RJ45 network connectors, copper connectors, where we will be connecting the RJ45 cables and connect it over to the network. And this is for HBA, and here these two you are able to see 2 into 10 10 GB of FSP ports, which is of Intel X520 adapter. So this is mentioned pretty clear here. So like that, and if you see here Dell XE series, 430 series. If you click here, like this is what it is, and this is the port D rack. You are able to see it clear, ID rack. So here this will be used, and these are the network connectors, and this is the FSPs. So this is some overview. Okay, so and physically looking at, I just took it from from one of the some one of our good friends shared this, who is who built his environment. So I just want to use this to show you everyone like how real scenario it will be. And thanks to this guy, I don't know his name, but thank you very much, whoever it is. Everyone is like trying to share their knowledge with everyone, and apart from that, we are all thankful to this guy for sharing this. So if you click this, so this is a three node, three block uh, Nutanix box, where you are able to see uh, uh, three nodes here and three blocks, where if you see here, the top one or the SW1, these are the switches, where if you see here, like the blue one is connected to the IPMI. If you see here, like all three nodes, the cables are connected to IPMI, and these are going to the switch 3 to the top ports. And if you see here, these are the FSPs, where using the fiber cables, they are connected to the switch 1 and switch 2 with the redundancy. If you see here, one cable is going to one switch, and another cable is going to the another switch, so that if this switch goes down, what happens is this will be available, and there won't be any, it's redundancy, and there won't be any impact to the production. So this every same thing will be in production, it will be like, and you are able to see the redundant power save cables connected for each block. So each node, if you see here, each block, if you see here, like they have two redundancy. If one goes down, another will be still active, and servers won't went down. So if anything problem, you are able to see the green indicating lights, that will be changed to orange, and it indicates that that is having some problem, and you need to fix it. So if you see here, this here also these switches are redundant, and they are connected to each other, so that if one switch goes down, still they will be available or the environment. And this is the front end view for these nodes and the blocks. If you see here, NUT 1 2 3, and this is the additional, I don't know why, maybe it is an additional one which is not connected. So if you see here, our friend, he installed the Nutanix CVM, and he created a cluster. So if you see here, like hardware summary, it's having three hosts and three blocks, and he's using a community edition with 28 VMs on it, and able to see 6.69 TB of logical, and 6.64 TIB of physical storage. So thanks to this guy, whoever it is. And apart from this, next we'll be going to the our lab, and we'll see. Okay, we are here now. So we have given the a dummy IPMI thick stuff here, like, and we'll going to the next step. So it says that the and initially, like whenever you are configuring the IPMI, make sure to enable IPv6 on your nodes. Then only it will be discovered, or else you need to click or else we need to do it manually. So you have to provide the block number of blocks, and the number of nodes, all stuff. So so we don't have it, so I cannot show it much here, but generally, yeah, once you do that, it will take you to the next level. Okay, so here you need to give the cluster name, time zone, and RF2 factor, cluster virtual IP, NTP, everything like whatever you do manually on the cluster. If you provide everything and click next, what happens is once it starts installation, it will do everything on its own. So though I don't have it, um, I went to one of our friend Cameron, he done this wonderful article. I just Google and found this so that I can show you guys in my production environment. We done it. Well, now we are doing it, but I don't have a lab setup, physical servers lab setup. So I was unable to show you, but here, whatever I was discussing, we will definitely see it here. Thank you, Cameron, for your wonderful article. I can share this link in my description. You guys can go here and look at his article. So same thing we'll be doing it here. He done, so whatever steps we were unable to proceed from there, I can see it here. So here whatever he said, whatever I said, like foundation, before you configure your foundation uh, wizard, make sure to update it, like keep it up to date once it is done. So like if you go here and like add nodes automatically when it browse, when you configure the IPAM, IP, and everything, what happens is they will be detected here automatically using the IPAM IP. So once that is done, so you are able to see here like view existing OS. When you click on like view already installed anything there, like you will be able to see the block name as well as the nodes and their existing version. So here what he done is like he uh, what he done is like he tried to install ESXI and CND host. So what he done is like in the step, like I told, like we have 5 steps. Apart from that, like in the step 5 for hypervisor, he uploaded ESXI and he selected the CND node. And when he click next, click start, what happens is installation will start, and whatever is there on the node 3 and 4, they will be wiped off. And like you'll be seeing the process, installation process here. And once it is done, they will be rebooted. If you see here, operation is successful. And here if you see here on the node IPs, operation is successful. And like ESXI is completely installed on these. So and initially, as I told, JSON file we can create it in the step 1, and when you upload it, so it will automatically do on its own whatever is mentioned in the file. So uh, this guy simultaneously was doing AHV and Nutanix at a time. So we'll go to our lab and see if we can able to do it. Just till what for we can go. Okay, so cluster name and all steps 2 nodes we don't have, so we'll go with the next level just for fun. So we'll give cluster 1, time zone is okay, anything is fine. But when you're doing it in production, we have to select the right time zone. Okay, sorry. So we'll select something here and we'll proceed. Our select New York, and we are selecting RF2 factor and virtual IP. It's optional, but we can give something for now. 0.106. NTP is optional. We can give the MTP. Uh, okay, we'll leave it blank. So we need to give the DNS name and a memory which you want to assign. And this is the step which we are looking at that article, which all if you are already have any existing AOS installed, if you click it, it will search and it will provide you the information. And if anything apart from like any hypervisor, like if you select it here, it will be listed here. And IPAM username password, if we have to provide the IPAM username password to log in. So here what type of hypervisor like hardware you are going to install, that is you have to select it. So here it won't allow you to okay, let me check anything wrong. So though it is not required, I'm just doing it for fun, nothing more than that. So whatever the subnet you will be using, you have to mention it to 55. That is the problem. I have given 225. Okay, so that is the problem it is giving. So make sure you provide the uh, right uh, right information. So yeah, so these are all missing, so that is the reason it's giving error. But yeah, this is what like as I said, till this part, same which our friend mentioned uh, in his article, like we need to give the uh, required information. Then I have reside. Okay, so here we need to give the IPAM address, all stuff. So we'll create it. We'll give something for now, but if you have production, we have to give the IPs here for nodes, multiple nodes, or you can also select auto discovery where uh, it will discover it. So hostname IP will give something CVM IP. Though it won't work, I'm just taking you to the to see if we can do it. We can see maximum steps. We can do it here. Okay. Mm, so here we need to upload the AOS which we downloaded. I just downloaded the AOS from the site, so it will upload the AOS tar file here. So though it won't work, I want to take you to the max extent of till some extent where we can do, so that this will be the same in production. So at least it will be helpful to see what exactly we at the in the 5 6 steps. So in the mentioned above 6 steps, like if you see step 1 is to start, step 2 to discover the node, step 3 is to configure the what IP and configure the cluster name, virtual IP, all stuff. Step 4 is to upload AOS for to create CVMs. Step 5 is to deploy hypervisor on the physical box. Neither it is an Nutanix hypervisor or ESXI hypervisor. So I will try to take it provide the information till it will allow us to take it to the next step. When we are unable to proceed, I will stop the video over there. But this is the same we follow in production. So I will just pause the video till it is uploaded. Okay, the file is uploaded now. So see here, this is the file AOS installer available now, and you can put this is an optional, but any arguments you want to add it, you can add it right over here. So when you click on this view existing AOS version of each node, we have multiple AOS version, that will be listed here, and click next to select the hypervisor. So what type of hypervisor you want to install, that will be listed here. Like if you see here, this is Nutanix hypervisor, VMware hypervisor, Microsoft Hyper-V, and this is Citrix Zen. So these are all the compatible hypervisors. So for our lab, we'll select our ESXI. So same thing, like it will ask for the hypervisor version, where we'll go and look for our hypervisor. So any hypervisor, which is like I'm selecting 6.7 update 1, and it will start updating the hypervisor to the foundation. So it is pretty fast here compared to the previous one. So the file is very small, 300 plus MB. So it is done. Now we're able to see the hypervisor here. So you can upload multiple hypervisors if you want. If you click here, you can add another hypervisor also based on the requirement, and also we can view the existing hypervisor nodes and their storage, where you can select it if you have, but we don't have it, so obviously it is not listing here. So here comes IPAM configuration. You need to add the IPMI or DRAC or whatever it is to connect to the hardware, root of the hardware, to connect and install the hypervisor, CVM, everything. We need to provide the username and password. If you click on this, so you can see like autofill range is available, and multiple fill with the Dell, whatever, Nutanix. If you click that, it will display the, it will provide the username and password. So so when you provide it and click start, it will start deploying the things, but we don't have, so obviously it will fail. So to proceed further, we need physical hardware. So I will start here, but yeah, as I said, this is what for production will be following the same. So I believe this is somewhat helpful for you guys. uh, Thanks to Cameron for wonderful article, and thanks to the other guy who shared his lab physical appearance, like front and back panels of the of his lab. So thank you very much, guys. Please do subscribe my channel and like my videos. Any suggestions and queries, please reach out to me on vstudentblog@gmail.com. Thank you. Bye bye.